Today on the Rockbridge Report, we'll give you the latest on yesterday's mass shooting of Florida high school as the alleged gunman makes his first appearance in court. Then, Buena Vista may be off the hook for its debts from the Vista Links golf course. Also, it's 70 degrees today, so what does our Saturday forecast have in store? You won't believe that. And direct from the Winter Olympics, we bring you the story of two sisters competing in ice hockey for different countries. All that and more on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Parker Butler.
And I'm Allie Chabahar.
19-year-old suspect accused of killing 17 and wounding over a dozen more at a Florida high school appeared in court for the first time today. A Broward County judge charged Nicholas Cruz with 17 counts of premeditated murder and ordered he be held without bond. The FBI received at least 2 tips that Cruz posed a potential threat before he carried out the massacre, according to CNN. A user with the name Nicholas Cruz left a comment on a YouTube video in September saying, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter." CNN's Andy Rose has the heartbreaking story.
Terror at a Parkland, Florida high school.
There are numerous fatalities. It's a horrific situation. It's just a horrible day for us.
Shortly before the end of school Wednesday, a fire alarm sounded, followed minutes later by gunfire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Students and teachers scrambled for safety. One teacher was able to lock 19 students in a closet where they hid for about 40 minutes before they were evacuated by SWAT.
We got maybe 15, 20 steps out of the classroom, and we were told that we were on cold red, and we ran back inside to the classroom and got down, crossed down on the floor, and then we moved into the closet, and we were hidden in the closet.
At least 17 were killed and more than a dozen transported to local hospitals with varying injuries. The suspected gunman was captured off campus a little over an hour after the deadly rampage began. The suspect, Nicholas Cruz, did attend the school at one point, but he had been expelled, according to the Broward County Sheriff.
Honestly, I'm still in shock. I don't know whether it'll hit me tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, to me, it still almost feels like a drill. You know, it's just surreal to see like my mom and my aunt just crying, you know, waiting for me.
I'm Andy Rose reporting.
Multiple students at Marjorie Stonewall Douglas High School spoke about the tragedy with CNN this morning. They remembered those whose lives were lost while trying to save others and sent a crystal clear message to lawmakers in Washington.
Mr. Beagle was my hero, and he still will forever be my hero. I will never forget the actions that he took for me and for fellow students in the classroom. And if his family is watching this, please know that your son or your brother was an amazing person, and I am alive today because of him.
And that's why I call on people to stand up, talk to their congressman, talk to people, and don't stop fighting, because children will continue to die if we don't take a stand now.
And today, politicians across the aisle are responding. Republicans are calling for thoughts and prayers for the victims.
We have mourning parents, we have people that are in really difficult circumstances dealing with that, so I think we need to just keep them in our thoughts and prayers at this time, and we can have conversations about other things later.
The violence has to stop. We cannot lose another child in this country to violence in a school.
Democrats, on the other hand, want to see actions to restrict gun purchases.
We're going to have to confront this as a society. Every time we go through this, and look, we've been through it 3 times in the last couple of years just in Florida.
The advocates of gun violence prevention, like myself and other groups and organizations around the country, and they are springing up and growing in number and power, need to make this issue front and center a priority in these upcoming elections.
President Donald Trump addressed the massacre in a speech from the White House this morning. He said he is committed to tackling mental health issues.
No child, no teacher should ever be in danger in an American school. No parent should ever have to fear for their sons and daughters when they kiss them goodbye in the morning. Each person who was stolen from us yesterday had a full life ahead of them, a life filled with wondrous beauty and unlimited potential and promise. Each one had dreams to pursue, love to give, and talents to share with the world.
A bipartisan group of senators reached an agreement late last night on an immigration proposal that would commit $25 billion to President Trump's border wall.
It would also offer a pathway to citizenship for 1.8 million immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. The centrist senators say their best proposal is the chance at promise between Republicans and Democrats on key factors in immigration reform. The White House has threatened to veto the bill, saying that the emerging deal would prompt a spike in illegal immigration. President Trump tweeted his support today for a merit-based immigration system. The Senate voting is expected to get underway this afternoon. The bill needs 60 votes for approval. When we come back, we'll give you the latest on the ongoing court battle in Buena Vista's golf course drama.
And later, how an agreement between the YMCA and the city could impact your summer plans.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Buena Vista leaders are waiting on the latest update in a court battle between the city and an insurance company. The federal court ruled that Buena Vista does not have to pay money owed for the Vista Links golf course. City officials are watching to see if the insurance company appeals the ruling. Olivia Hewitt reports.
The standoff between Buena Vista and the bond insurer for Vista Links golf course continues. On Thursday, federal judge Norman Moon dismissed the case ACA Financial Guarantee Corporation brought against Buena Vista. ACA sued the city for defaulting its payments for the $9.2 million bond it was issued to finance Vista Links. But Moon also ruled that ACA has the right to seize the municipal property Buena Vista posted as collateral for the funding. Buena Vista posted the golf course, City Hall, the police department, and the courthouse as collateral. ACA said in a statement that the ruling has paved the way for them to take possession of the properties. But Buena Vista City Attorney Brian Kearney doubts ACA will act on its word.
It's not that they want the property. It's not that they want to sell the property. They want the city to pay the full amount because they know that the collateral is worth nowhere near what's owed.
Vista Links first opened in 2004 with hopes of boosting Buena Vista's economy. In 2011, the city entered a forbearance agreement that said it would pay half of its remaining debt in the next 5 years. But the city could not continue paying. In 2015, it stopped making payments. ACA has been paying $660,000 each year since. Buena Vista City Manager Jay Scudder says the city does not have the ability to pay the debt.
Our case in federal court was that it was a moral obligation, and the ability to pay doesn't have anything to do with it.
The ACA said in a statement that it plans to appeal the ruling because the city has the money to pay. ACA is referring to Buena Vista's financial statements from fiscal year 2017 that show the city has a surplus of $3.4 million.
Looking at the annual budget and its reserve, the city has a reserve that fluctuates. And what people don't understand with the city, we get money a couple times a year. Whenever we get taxes, come December, and then we have other times with personal property. In between, we got to pay bills, we got to pay payroll. If you're at a time of the year where you're not having revenue coming in, you're dipping into that every week to pay payroll.
Kearney says the city wants to put the issue behind it and work out a resolution with ACA. ACA says it will continue to press the city to pay their debts. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Olivia Hewitt.
So Catherine, what's going on with this spring weather? Is it already time for us to put up our winter coats?
Unfortunately, no. We're going to get a little chillier in the next couple days. So let's take a look at our live shot over rural Rockbridge County. And next, we're going to take a look at our radars. We're going to take a look at the almanac. So the high today was 73 and the low is 56. The barometric pressure is reading 29.88 inches of mercury. Wind speeds are at 18 miles per hour and humidity is at 55%. In area weather, we have mostly either sun or clouds around the area with Roanoke at 73 degrees, a little chillier in Covington at 61, Lexington and Buena Vista both cloudy and 73, a little bit cooler down in Lynchburg, but sunny and 75 in Charlottesville and 72 in Stanton. Let's take a look at our radar screen. We have a little bit of a something coming in over the weekend, so let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. So Friday, we're going to have a little bit of rain with a high of 63 and a low of 30. On Saturday, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of snow, so not time to put up your winter coats yet. We're going to have a high of 36 and a low of 31. It's going to heat up a little bit on Sunday, up to 52 high and a 34 low. It's going to be pretty similar weather on Monday except for a little bit of rain, and on Tuesday we're going to heat up a little bit more to a high of 66 and a low of 48. That's your 5-day forecast. Parker and Allie, back to you.
Thanks, Catherine. Rockbridge County High School says the root of future success for students is more STEM classes and more career choices for those heading to college and the workplace. Emma Durr breaks down the new program.
The Department of Education says science, technology, engineering, and math are the most rapidly expanding fields in the U.S., yet very few students have early exposure to these subjects, also known as STEM. For 2 years, Supervisor Stephen Wilder has been tackling this problem and building a new STEM program for Rockbridge County High School. He said the classes will focus on project-based learning through partnerships with local organizations.
All access to hundreds of acres of property to do the things we want to do, such as drone flight, testing different types of cover crops on soils, testing the effects on watershed after a big rain like this.
The STEM program is part of a larger transition that will expand into even more choices. There will be both vocational and college pathways featuring everything from culinary to automotive to engineering training.
The key is that we don't even really know what our kids are going to need to solve in the future. So we just need to teach them the basics of how to solve problems and think critically for themselves.
Students are excited about these new opportunities.
You're going to have an agricultural STEM academy, which goes with the farming in Rockbridge County, and I think that's really great. But then you're going to get an engineering one that goes well, like for a kid who might apply to VMI.
The school staff hopes this curriculum model will encourage students to discover what they're good at and choose what they are passionate about.
But it's all about, inspiring someone and getting them really interested and engaged in what they're doing. Learning is so much more fun when you love what you're doing.
Departure from the traditional classroom setting focused on testing will allow students to discover and follow tracks that they are passionate about. From bridge construction to solar energy to smart farming, students will get to choose from many new pathways. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Emma Durr.
The STEM curriculum will start this fall.
Next, we'll tell you what you can do to protect yourself from phone scams.
And what changes in management could mean for Lexington pool goers this summer.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
When it comes to saving money,
Boss! What? Harry!
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating. Be the boss. I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying. And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school. At feedthepig.org.
Breaking news now from the AP. The Broward County Sheriff's Office is reporting that Nicholas Cruz confessed to being the shooter at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. According to the report, Cruz began shooting students that he saw in the hallways and on school grounds on Wednesday afternoon. The report adds that Cruz told officers he bought additional loaded magazines to the school campus and kept them hidden in a backpack until he got on campus to begin his assault. Cruz told investigators that as students began to flee, he decided to discard his AR-15 rifle and a vest he was wearing so he could blend in with the crowd. Police recovered the rifle and the vest. The police report adds that Cruz purchased the rifle in February of 2017, but does not say where it was purchased. Police say one Rockbridge County elderly woman fell victim to a granny scam last week. The woman sent money to a man claiming to be her grandson. Police say scammers target the elderly most often, and Rockbridge County seniors are no exception. Local senior centers have programs to raise awareness about scams and teach tactics on how to avoid them. The FBI has published a list of tips avoiding telemarketing schemes. They recommend that seniors avoid purchasing anything from unfamiliar companies and should be wary of accepting prizes or offers over the phone. Head over to the Rockbridge Report's website for the complete rundown of suggestions.
Buena Vista's residents may have to pay more to dump their trash starting this summer, after Rockbridge County and Lexington launched a new plan to manage solid waste. As Hannah Denham reports, Buena Vista says it did not get much warning on the higher fees.
Vista City Manager Jay Scudder says the city will now have to pay $60,000 per year to use the newly expanded landfill located at 225 Landfill Road.
Rockbridge and Lexington decided to adjust their landfill rate higher in anticipation of building this new regional landfill. Buena Vista, since we had a contract with auto recyclers, opted to stay with the lower rate.
Buena Vista, Lexington, and Rockbridge County have historically used the landfill, but only Buena Vista chose to not invest money and resources into its expansion that began 6 years ago. Now, with the Blue Ridge Resource Authority's changes,
Buena Vista residents and businesses have to pay extra to dump trash in a landfill in their own town. The authority's executive director, Jeremy Garrett, said they sent information to Buena Vista residents and businesses before the public hearing this past Monday night.
We do not earn any additional revenues on the e-waste above general operations, and that's typically the case for all the fees. The fees are strictly established by our true cost of operation.
However, Scudder said he never saw any of those packages or heard about residents receiving them. He says the city only received a public notice through the Lexington News Gazette. Some city residents are also unaware of the increase in fees and think it should be more well known.
I imagine a lot of people would like to hear this one. Oh, they're not going to like it.
The change is part of the landfill site's transition from the Rockbridge County Solid Waste Authority to the Blue Ridge Resource Authority that happened in December. Fees to dump trash per ton and for special items such as televisions and tires at the landfill are increasing by 25%. Scudder also said he hopes to negotiate down the fees more than the contract's agreement to reduce it by 1% each year for 6 years. Garrett said the increase in fees is to account for operation and risk of processing Buena Vista's trash without their investment in resources.
Holding Buena Vista's agreement to dump its trash in the landfill behind me, signed by Jay Scudder this past Tuesday. The Blue Ridge Resource Authority provided me with the documents sent to Buena Vista business owners prior to Monday night's hearing. Jay Scudder said the city's general fund will cover the increase in costs through this June, and in July will reassess its options moving forward into the next fiscal year. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Hannah Denham.
Thanks, Hannah. Salerno Pizzeria Bar and Bistro is getting a new wood-fired oven. Owner Jason Harris says this addition and other renovations at the restaurant are projected to open the first week of March. Other shops downtown have also made some changes to bring in business. The Shenandoah Attic and Victorian Parlor have combined into one storefront, and Walkabout Outfitter is expanding after moving to Main Street last year.
It may be the dead of winter, but Lexington officials have already their sights set on summer. The city is in talks to transfer control of its outdoor pool to the YMCA. Abigail Somerville reports.
Lexington city officials are negotiating an agreement with the Rockbridge area YMCA about the city's outdoor pool. The proposed agreement would separate operations of the city's indoor and outdoor pools. The city would still own both of them, but the YMCA would oversee the outdoor facility. Lexington Finance Director Gary Swink says the outdoor pool is underused and could use improvements.
Either programming or perhaps making investments in capital projects. For example, maybe a water slide or whatever would benefit the community in a greater way.
YMCA Executive Director Bobby Wolf says her organization is qualified and ready to take over the pool's management.
It's pretty typical to see YMCAs across the country in the state of Virginia that are doing just this. They're operating recreational pools for municipalities in the area.
Wolf says she's already planning several activities that the YMCA would want to implement over the summer.
Family swim nights, DJ family fun nights, float nights on Friday nights where we bring a DJ in and we do ice cream Sundays, and we've talked about doing a back-to-school bash.
But Lexington pool users like Stacy Vargas aren't excited about the potential management change. Among other things, the agreement would require residents with year-round memberships to the facilities to pay a separate fee for the outdoor pool. That fee would be paid to the YMCA.
As swimmers, we lose pool hours. We have to pay more because it's no longer joined with the community pool, so we increase our fees. So for a swim community, it seems it's a very negative benefit.
As of Tuesday, City Council members were still adjusting the agreement to take resident concerns into account. Vargas says they need more time to do that.
I think that the fact that it's evolving continuously says to me we need to just step back, stop, let's run the pool as it was for another year.
The City Council will vote on the agreement at 8 tonight at Waddell Elementary School. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Abigail Somerville.
The outdoor pool will open Memorial Day weekend.
Coming up, we'll dive into the 2018 Winter Olympics direct from Pyeongchang.
A redhead staring contest? You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you.
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Welcome back. Well, the 2018 Winter Olympics are well underway, and I think it's safe to say that there have been some incredible moments in sports history. James, you've been keeping your eye on any sport in particular?
I think so. I think the Shaun White's third gold medal and the heartfelt speech that he gave after it was really touching to sports fans everywhere. And I think back in Lexington, the WNL men's basketball team beat Emory and Henry 92-87 last night and made 23 of 24 free throws. But Emory and Henry took the lead over WNL women's basketball team for a final score of 66-52. WNL men's Lax had a slow start in their game against Christopher Newport University last night and ultimately lost 7-12. They'll play the fourth-ranked team in the nation, Denison, this Saturday. 36 swimmers on WNL men's and women's swimming team won all ODAC awards on Tuesday. Senior Tommy Thetford and sophomore Emily Hedgeback won the ODAC Virginia Farm Bureau Scholar Athlete of the Year award. Head coach Cammie Gardner won ODAC Coach of the Year for the second time. The WNL equestrian team won first place at the Hollins WNL IHSA Invitational last Sunday, edging out 7 other teams for the prize. The team is currently in 5th place regionally. WNL baseball beat Southern Virginia University 4-2 on Wednesday and will play Greensboro this Saturday. SVU men's basketball team beat Frostburg State 73-66 at the Knights' last home game. The Knights will finish out the season at Salisbury University on Saturday. SVU men's lacrosse opened their season yesterday with a 20-14 victory against Ferrum College. The Rockbridge County High School men's basketball team beat Spotswood High School and took home the Valley District Tournament Championship. This loss ended Spotswood's astonishing 86-game winning streak. The Rockbridge County High School's wrestling and swimming teams are going to the Virginia High School League State Championships this weekend. At Pyeongchang, American snowboarder Shaun White completed the run of his life on Tuesday, landing his 3rd Olympic gold medal and 100th overall gold for the U.S. in the history of the Winter Olympics. But he isn't the only athlete making waves this week. American Michaela Schifrin won the giant slalom for her 2nd career Olympic gold medal. No American alpine skier has earned more. And Olympic fans are buzzing about the 2 siblings competing against each other in ice hockey. CNN's Amanda Davies caught up with the sisters' parents, who said their daughters couldn't be closer, except when they're on the ice.
It's a really unusual one, you know, to have 2 daughters playing for 2 different countries.
You can't really script something like this.
It's really nothing we could have ever dreamed of.
It's just icing on the cake that we can follow along.
We're going together and get to experience everything for the first time together, which is very special, and not many people can say they've done that with their sisters.
The coolest thing about going to the Olympics together is I'm going to be walking around, I'll be at the dining room, and my sister's going to be there. Most people can't say that.
The girls began skating on the ice when they were about probably 4 years old, and they started as figure skaters.
Marissa saw how much fun Hannah was having in a team sport and decided she wanted to play hockey too.
She kind of got sick of just coming to watch me play hockey, so she changed from figure skating to hockey later on.
I really just wanted to be with Hannah and be able to do a sport with her, so Looking back, I am happy that I chose hockey because it's gotten me, to where I am today.
Hockey's really brought the two of us together. Playing on the line together was fun. We always knew where each other were. We had that little connection.
To be able to bond over the sport and the relationships you make along the way, it's memories that will last a lifetime, and I couldn't imagine, growing up without having her there with me doing it.
We won't be back for our usual Tuesday update next week, but we'll be back on February 27th. For more information, visit rockbridgereport.wu.edu. Thanks for watching.